From WTVQ TV, this is 36 on Your Side Weekend Edition.
History came to life in Perryville today as thousands reenacted Kentucky's most important Civil War battle. Good evening and thanks for joining us for 36 on Your Side at 6. I'm Lisa Hunter. The war between the states was one of the bloodiest periods in our history. And now Confederate and Union soldiers clashed once again at the Battle of Perryville. In tonight's top story, Madeline Daniels takes us back in time.
140 years later, we still feel the effects of the Civil War. Issues still not fully resolved.
Questions of the division of power between the federal government and state governments, of course, go back to the Civil War. Almost every issue in American life you can think of, major issues that we still confront today, have their origins or were deeply affected by the Civil War.
Dismiss! Kentucky!
Historians see these reenactments as a way to show the truth of war.
We have a tendency to sort of sentimentalize it or sanitize it, and we forget just how profound an experience this was for the combatants and for the civilians as well.
And this battle was one of the most significant, as was the overall role of the Bluegrass State.
Kentucky was crucial to really both sides. The Confederacy desperately wanted to bring Kentucky into their side. Lincoln just as desperately wanted to hold on to Kentucky. So the Battle of Perryville was the culmination of really the last attempt by the Confederacy to swing Kentucky to their side. And the South's failure to do that really helped to determine the outcome of the war.
Historians also say we should never forget the human toll.
Legs shattered, arms shattered, abdominal wounds. We did not know the firepower was so severe because it was actually a new power.
Captain, how long will it be before you can get your detachment limbered up, ready to move?
The 600,000 Americans who lost their lives is a very large tragedy.
Just to give you an idea of the scope of today's reenactment, imagine this: 6,000 troops, hundreds of civilians, 350 horses, dozens of cannons, and 3 years in the making.
Maddie, I felt like I was watching footage from a movie.
It was amazing.
Oh, those folks are definitely passionate about their hobby.
They are.
Thanks. Arrangements are now set for the Nicholasville boy who gained national attention for his courageous spirit. 13-year-old Jarrett Lanier lost his fight to cancer Friday evening. He started Jarrett's Joy Cart, passing out toys to other boys and girls battling illness. Now carts are in service as far-reaching as Seattle, Washington. Visitation for Jarrett is at Kerr Brothers Funeral Home in Lexington from 4:30 to 8:30 tomorrow night and 9 to 11 in the morning on Tuesday. His funeral is Tuesday at Mary Queen of the Holy Rosary Catholic Church at 1 o'clock. If you're interested in contributing in Jarrett's name, log on to our website, WTVQ.com, for details. Police and fire officials in Powell County are searching for clues as to what started a mobile home fire. It sparked at about 10 o'clock last night along 2nd Street in Clay City. What makes this investigation unique is what was inside the home. There were enough guns and ammunition to cause a minor explosion. Fire crews put out the flames and luckily no one was hurt. Investigators still don't know what caused that fire. A change is in the works for grain warehouses. Agriculture officials want the federal government to amend a law that could leave farmers without state protection if they go bankrupt. Now, right now, federally licensed grain buyers can avoid some state laws. Most states reimburse farmers for a percentage of the value of their grain if a warehouse fails. Ag leaders are concerned the federal rule will cause warehouses to drop their state license. 6 out of the 17 federally licensed warehouses are reportedly interested in doing just that. Yesterday, an NASDA committee approved 2 measures that would change federal regulation. Well, you could not have asked for a nicer day for the annual Alzheimer's Association Memory Walk. About 1,000 people put on their walking shoes to raise money for the local Alzheimer's Association. 36 on Your Side's Alexa Gromko and UK basketball coach Debbie Smith are the co-chairs of the event. The event is expected to raise about $100,000.
Well, the money that's raised today goes to help support research, and it goes to fund the local support services that families here in Central and Eastern Kentucky desperately rely on from the Alzheimer's Association.
I'm excited.
This is the 13th year for the Memory Walk. Each year, more and more people are coming out. That's a good sign, but it's still a small percentage of the 22,000 people in Central and Eastern Kentucky who have Alzheimer's disease. President Bush is taking his arguments against Saddam Hussein to the Queen City. Tomorrow night at 8, the president will speak to about 500 invited guests at Cincinnati's Union Terminal. It's a former railroad station used frequently in the World War II era. Bush is expected to talk about several ideas for military power against Iraq. The White House did not ask that the speech be carried on network stations since it's not a formal Oval Office address. Protests by local groups, including the Coalition for a Just Cincinnati, are expected to be on hand. We have a couple of important food recalls to tell you about. First, the Milwaukee-based meat company MPAC Foods is recalling millions of pounds of ground beef nationwide for possible E. coli contamination. Now, here's what you need to look for. Sell-by dates of August 29th, 30th, and 31st, as well as September 1st, 2nd, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. The packages have establishment codes of EST 2, 6, 5, and 4. Also, the Campbell Soup Company made a potentially dangerous mistake. Cans labeled as cream of mushroom were found to contain New England clam chowder. Unsuspecting folks allergic to shellfish could have a reaction. So the company is recalling a day's production of Campbell's condensed cream of mushroom soup. The cans have the label code AUG 2004 08292 as well as CUB8EL. And still ahead, the latest on the snipers haunting the Washington, D.C. area. Police have made a critical link that could eventually crack the case. Details coming up.
Hi, I'm John Dopkin. You can support vital public service programs across the Bluegrass through a project we call One for the Community.
When you buy a One for the Community coupon book from your local school group, you'll contribute to programs that enhance the learning experience for area children. To find out how to buy or sell books in your area, call 552-9659.
Please support One for the Community.
One for the Community is brought to you by Simpson Optical, Entertainment Publications, and 36 on Your Side.
Hey, kids.
Hey, kids.
Introducing Bell South Long Distance.
Sure is long.
Same company, longer distance. Bell South. Listening, answering.
The Jeep Kentucky Adventure Race weekend is for you. Go online for entry information, fees, and gear lists. Or you can call toll-free at 1-888-301-7007.
Today, your home is probably your best investment. So today, there's no better time to come to Lowe's. Introducing Delta Victorian faucets and accessories and beautiful Venetian bronze. And only Lowe's has them all. Lowe's has more stylish plumbing products in stock than anybody else. And no one ever beats Lowe's prices. Because Lowe's has low prices every day, guaranteed. That's our promise. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
On the road or on the job, get the latest Forecast Center 36 weather once every hour on Mix 94.5. The 36 on Your Side Friday Night Fever tailgate party. Join us Friday at 6 at Dunbar High School. It's free. And enter the 36 on Your Side P-Rats Field Goal Challenge. Be there. You're watching WTVQ 36 on Your Side Weekend Edition.
Investigators now say that the bullet used to shoot a Virginia woman matches ammunition used to kill at least 4 of 6 victims of a sniper spree around Washington, D.C. But knowing that has brought police no closer to solving the case. Lauren Rogers has more.